Ladies and gentlemen, don't adjust your screen. Yes, I am a girl, and I'm here co-hosting this week's episode of the Carolina Sports District. Football season has finally started, and some of the leagues have already had a chance to play.
That's right, and we have the highlights right here on the Carolina Sports District, the #1 sports show for the youth in the Carolinas, also known as TCSD. Let's go!
Speaking of football season starting, school also got off to a great start this year.
Yeah, a lot of the players, go to the same school even though they play for different teams. And I'm pretty sure the trash talking has begun as the teams get ready for the upcoming season.
Yeah, probably. Now, unfortunately, there were no games over the Labor Day weekend.
But we do have highlights from last week from August 25th.
We saw a lot of things during last week's games. Whether they were good or bad is something we'll have to let you decide.
The big question last week was whether or not the Gators coming from the NCYFL could adapt to the PYFL. Well, that question got answered.
We go to North Meck High School where the Ballantyne Gators took on the University Longhorns for its debut into the PYFL. All three age groups played, prep, JV, and varsity, and the prep game is what got us started off. First offensive play for the Gators, quarterback number 1 with a bootleg to the right, 59-yard touchdown run as he takes it to the house. No Longhorns player can get him as he takes it all the way to the house. Touchdown, 7-0 early in the game. Defense causing turnovers as the Longhorns can't handle the snap. Gators recover and will take over on offense. Opening in the third quarter, the Gators kick an onside kick. Longhorns can't recover. Gators recover as the offense takes it back over. Defense continues to bring pressure all day as they end up cruising to a victory, 39-0 Gators over the Longhorns.
All right, after the prep game, we go to the JV game, where the first offensive play was a 50-yard touchdown scored by the Gators. They're going, it's going, it's going, it is gone. The Gators go all the way home. Next, we've got an air attack, a 32-yard touchdown scored by number 5 for the Gators once again. We finally got number 25 going for a touchdown, carrying the ball for 39 yards. Let's take that back and watch it in slow motion. Man, look at him. He almost looks like he's ready to hit somebody. All right, those Gators defense continue to bring the pressure throughout the game, finally bringing into a victory, 52-0. The Longhorns never stood a chance.
On to the varsity game now between the Gators and the Longhorns. First offensive play was not actually a TD. The Gators have been doing it all day, but not this time around. Defense causing turnovers. The Gators causing a fumble. Longhorns not able to recover. Gators recover. Offense comes back on the field. Next play for the Gators, 48-yard TD run by number 24 with a nasty stiff arm. Let's look at that again in slow motion. Sit down, big fella. Watch me go all the way to the end zone. Longhorns can't get in the end zone. It's a shutout, 54-0. Gators take the victory.
So, Josh, is the first season of the game usually a reflection of how the rest of the season will go?
Not per se. The first game is always a tough one to kind of figure out. Both teams are coming out playing the first games of the year. Coach trying to figure out what players, they can play throughout the season at what position, still kind of learn their team a bit. You can tell from the game that the Gators were well sound in what they were doing. They came out focused, started on a roll from the very beginning. But don't get too down on yourselves, Longhorns. It's a long season to go. And plus, you could see these Gators again in the playoffs. And that's what really counts.
Speaking of playoffs, that takes us to the organization that could have won 3 championships last year if it wasn't for the Gators taking one away.
Well, since it's been the first year that the c-meck Tar Heels don't have to play the Ballantyne Gators, they're looking to take supreme dominance over all the age groups in their league. Starting at J.T. Williams Middle School this past Saturday, the Albemarle Razorbacks took on the c-meck Tar Heels. Starting with the junior midget division, early in the game, the defense started out with a big-time tackle. c-meck Tar Heels tackling the Razorback player there. Let's go with that slow motion replay. As you can see the tackle once again, huge hit quick score early, 68-yard touchdown by number 5 for the Albemarle Razorbacks. But then the Tar Heels returned the favor with a 25-yard touchdown by number 35. The Tar Heels wouldn't stop there. They kept returning the favors back and forth, including a 75-yard kick return for a touchdown, and the Tar Heels end up with the victory. On to the Pee Wee League division. Heels start off with an early scoring touchdown run, 19 yards by number 80. Later in the contest, number 21, 12 years old, runs a 4.6, and he's dashing out for a 50-yard touchdown run. No one in sight to catch him. Quarterback number 1 later for the Heels bootlegs it for a touchdown to increase the lead for the Tar Heels. Later in the game, onside kick. The Heels do recover. Albemarle not able to get to it in time. Too much offensive firepower for the Tar Heels as they cruise to a 41-0 victory over the Albemarle Razorbacks.
Next, we move to the Cadets, where the Tar Heels look to continue their winning streak. First, the Razorbacks defense sets the tone early with a big-time tackle. The Tar Heels defense returns the favor that even causes some helmets to roll. Ooh, I bet that one hurt. Razorback quarterback number 2 throws a bomb to number 10 for a 53-yard touchdown. The Razorbacks end up winning 13-0, killing the Tar Heels' winning streak for the day.
The Tinies divisions will close out the series of the day between the Razorbacks and the Tar Heels. Starting off, running back number 35 introduces the defense to his stiff arm and takes off down the sideline for a 50-yard touchdown. The Razorbacks answer back with a fake handoff bootleg down the sideline, all the way down 80 yards for the touchdown for the Razorbacks. This time out of a shotgun, quarterback bootleg number 4 hits the corner. Nobody can get him. 45-yard touchdown on that play. Razorbacks win it in a close one, 12-6 over the c-meck Tar Heels.
A great battle of organizations, bringing the wins in the series to 2-2.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a dominant performance by the c-meck Tar Heels, but I think early on in the games they showed that, in this league, they're not going to be a team that you can just roll over.
That's right.
They played pretty well, and they're gonna play pretty good throughout the season.
Those junior midgets and peewees are definitely playing at championship level. I think that you're really going to have to watch out for them as the season progresses.
Last game of the day was a 2:30 game back at North Meck between the Steelers and the Patriots. Opening drive. The main goal for the Patriots was to pressure the Steelers defense, and they did that with the running of number 44, who looked unstoppable. He eventually scored the game's only touchdown of the day. The Steelers did settle down on defense, but couldn't find any answer for the Patriot offense today. And when it looked like the Steelers found an offensive spark, this play was called back for a block in the back. Ref throws a flag on the play. In desperation, Steelers offense went solely to the air, and they fell short 0-6 in the contest.
Man, Josh, I really thought the Steelers were going to win this one. They had so much speed. You just couldn't touch them.
Yeah, sometimes speed does really serve you well in football, but sometimes it's good to be big and strong, and that's what the Patriots were today, and that's what won the game for them.
All right. Well, when we were watching all those games today, I saw a lot of onside kicks. It's almost as if it was a standard for the league. How do you feel about the onside kicks?
Well, it looks like it really could be a standard, and the percentages are pretty high when most of the teams that are doing the onside kicks are recovering them, and that's exactly what was going on. The only con is that if you don't recover the onside kick, you give the other offense a good field position.
Right.
But the teams were recovering the kick, so when you have those high percentages like that, why not go for it?
Gotcha. Now we'd like to bring you our tip of the week. This week we want you to make sure you get lots of rest. Football is no longer the only thing on the mind. You have to go to school in the morning, make sure you eat well, but most importantly, make sure you get your rest. If you get your rest and get enough sleep, you can do well in the school, and you can also do well on the football field. As we come to a close, we want you to remember to keep your head up. Even if your team lost last weekend, it's all right. Just get back in the game and try again. There's always next week.
Yeah, first games of the season is always coaches trying to figure out their teams, fix out some kinks that may not work the first week or not. So if you lost this week, just always remember, in sports, you got to have amnesia. You got to come back the next week and get right back to it.
And look for us. We'll be wearing our t-shirts at your games. Let us know when your games are going to happen. Follow us on Twitter at sports_district or check out our fan page on Facebook. And remember to watch next week's episode on YouTube.
And there you have it.